Hi, welcome back. So we're at the last section of Chapter 5, Framework and Research Design, and that is to discuss the outlines of research technical implementation. In this section, we're going to discuss three outlines. In the first outline, we'll have a quick look on articulating research question, and then we will have grounds on hypotheses, and finally, design of research. Forming a research question is the most important aspect to design sound research or to deliver promising results. In fact, I have seen many final products and I have read about many research result as a failure research. Trust me, the reason was a wrong research question. They didn't have the enough skills to form the right research question. I'd like to take you back to the visual presentation we have discussed in the previous section. If you remember, we have discussed the conceptual and the theoretical framework. Now, my question is, what is the research question of this image? Well, you might answer straightforward that the research question is, does teaching method has an effect on student performance? Well, that's one research question, but I could actually articulate many research questions. One of them, for example, does the teacher background affect the student's performance? In this case, I'm not looking at the teaching methods, which is in here, as a direct or as a middle way between the student performance and the teacher. It means I am kind of creating completely a new way of investigation, and that's to link the teacher delivery performance directly or background directly to the student performance. And of course, the teaching method become one element, but the direction of this area will change. That is, the teaching method become actually one of those elements in this vector. Another research question, does, for example, the formal teaching methods difference from the casual and the free teaching methods on the student's performance? Do they vary? What would you do? This is completely a different research question. In this case, how can I investigate such a statement? So you could see I can articulate many research questions, many as I want, but that depends on how do I visualize or perceive the image that I see on the screen. And that's why articulating research question, it gives you the opportunity to deliver the right answer. So there is a very important skill you have to master on the ground of creating or articulating the research question. To do that, we need some kind of general skills to do so. First of all, you have to articulate a general problem. So for example, if I would have to bring back the example that we were just discussing, this is the teaching methods and that was a student performance. And if I want to articulate a very general problem question, I would say I am trying to investigate teaching method on the student's performance, for example, in terms of practical application. Well, that's quite generic in its nature. I didn't really make specific or formal way of articulating. That's why I have now to articulate the research question. And this is when I become quite a bit more specific when I say, does the casual teaching methods in particular have effect on the student's performance in terms of a practical application? So I started to be a little bit more specific. And finally, to hypothesize. See, you cannot just stand in a general form. You have to make the claim quite clear, and this is what we're going to discuss in a while. It's to hypothesize something. That means you have to take a stand. What are you trying to prove or disprove? It doesn't really matter. You might say, one of your claim that you think that the casual teaching methods actually affect the student's performance in terms of practical application. Or maybe the complete negating that claim, you would say, I think that the casual teaching method has nothing to do or doesn't have real effect on student performance in the form of a practical application. So you have to hypothesize something. So I hope now the importance of articulating research question clear to you. In the next outline, we're going to discuss the ground on the hypothesis. I will see you then.